Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. The best performance basketball shoe line on the market has returned. And today we'll be talking about the Li-Ning Liren 6. So price will probably depend on where you are. Same goes with most of these hoop shoes from Chinese brands. It is now available on kicksown.com. I'll leave you a link to get it if you're interested. That is my go-to site when it comes to shoes like the Liren. I know they have dropped the prices for the previous models. A complete selection of colorways too. For the 6, maybe there's no high top anymore. I mean, we'll probably end up seeing 20 more different colorways, something like that. Li-Ning also has more basketball shoe lines than the number of friends I have. But out of those lines, I think they put the most effort into these. And let's get right into it. As to how the Liren 6 performs, for cushion you get everything. I shall explain. This midsole is bouncy, comfortable, very responsive. You also get a smooth transition from front to back. Full length boom, can't go wrong with that as their base. Compared to the Liren 3 V2, it's bouncier. Versus the 4 V2, it's a little bit softer, because they partially open up the TPU caging to allow for more compression when you press down on it. More of a foamy effect, which is great. This part is actually key, so it's a perfect balance of comfort and responsiveness. Versus the 5 low top, your movements feel more fluent. That was more like a pure jump board. And then versus the 5 V2, is not as bottom heavy. The weight of this shoe is distributed more evenly throughout, right at 400 grams on the scale for US 10.5. Lightweight and low to the ground. Comfy, and you get the boing boing effect on feet at the same time. Delicious. I didn't want to go too deep into the tech specs. Let's face it, even after getting all these different iterations, did I feel like this new prod.S thing really made the forefoot so much more dynamic because of the angles they calculated? Not really. Prod.S, according to their product description, is essentially a small piece of plate they inserted into the edge up front. Small but compact. Anyways, the best way to summarize how it feels is that the Liren 6 midsole hits right in that sweet spot, combining some of the highlights from each of the previous versions. Biggest benefit I actually felt, the amount of caging in the heel is just perfect. Not too mushy, not too stiff. It holds up well in shape. Stable ride. Traction. First of all, I got this Buzz Lightyear Disney collab that comes in a green translucent outsole, mostly just to see how it works this time. Because there's solid rubber outsole, I can almost guarantee you that it's going to be safe and grippy as always. Translucent outsole on the Liren 4 V2 feels similar in hand. That one has no squeak, while this is pretty loud and squeaky on the court. Besides the sound effect, it was also just an absolute joy to play in. I was able to get to a hard and consistent stop. Pattern is made up of hexagons, for this being model number 6. Works just like a sturdy and effective herringbone pattern. Dust pickup, I do see that being a concern, especially if you normally play on very dusty courts. This also is a dust magnet, so not 100% flawless, but good enough for most people. And performance wasn't affected based on my experience. Will solid rubber be even better? We'll have to see on that. Maybe. It is their tough RB also. The rubber feels nice and firm. I do think it'll be durable enough for outdoor use. Yeah, the traction performance is pretty much top notch, as expected. This part was never even average on the previous models, so they kept it up, yes. For sizing, you can either go true to size or half size up. I went true to size. It is a very snug but secure fit. Lockdown has been super impressive for me. It's tight, but it doesn't squeeze my feet too much, to a point where it starts hurting. Works perfectly for those who have medium to narrow feet. Slightly wider feet like mine, give it some time to break in and stretch out, or go half size up if you've been doing that with their other shoes. Those who have very wide feet, this should be a no-go. I also want to point out that right on top of your feet, it does press down pretty hard. So if you know that you have high volume feet, might be best off passing on this too. Because width, you can break it in. If it hurts every time you lift your feet up, that probably won't go away. This red button doesn't do anything. It's already tight enough. As far as the upper material goes, it looks like there's nothing special or new about it. But on feet, I could feel a little difference. Again, I'm drawing a comparison to the Liren 4 V2 because these two are very similar. Not as plasticky over here. It is supportive. You can't just twist it easily. But on the lateral side, my feet are hugged around nicely. Good containment for flat feet. Because sometimes, especially on a shoe that runs tight, stiffer materials than this could trigger foot pain. So think about this as like a dress shoe. Slim, fits the occasion, but on the interior, you've got it stuffed with some tiny cushion pillows, so they're also comfortable. Does that make sense? If not, that's okay. Breathable, minimal, and cozy. That's the simplest way to put it. Overall, elite performer. Just when you think this series couldn't have become better, Li-Ning delivered once again. Everything's safe and effective. They worked on material comfort, gave us a smoother transition to go with a slightly more secure lockdown. The 6 is most similar to the 4v2, but it's almost an optimal combination of the 3-4-5, taking the good traits from each of those low top versions. At this point, I think it can only go downhill from here. Sorry if that sounds weird, but I'm just wondering, like, how do you beat this? As always, let me know what you think about the Liren 6 down in the comments. Have you tried any model from this Liren line? If so, how do you like it? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.